Beautiful. So it's very sweet to be. Isn't it? Without any interest in sharing a story or defending a point of view. Impressing anybody. Simply the sweetness of being. What's so beautiful is that being is, it always is. We are, I am. So being is not something that comes and goes. It's right there. It's what we are. We don't need to remember what we are. What you are is not something that you perceive. It's not something that appears to you. Our true home. Sometimes the thought appears that I am this, or I am that. But the thought that appears to you, the thought which says, I am this, and I am that, is not different from the appearance of a bird flying through the sky. It's not different from the appearance of the wind. It's blowing through the leaves. Maybe sometimes we believe the thought that says, I am good, I am bad, he did this, she did that. Maybe at some point we believed that. But we don't have to, do we? We don't need to define ourselves via storyline, via thoughts and feelings, a hearsay. You are that which you are, which is this aware presence. Which neither appears to you nor disappears. Rather, it is that to which all appearances and disappearances appear. We are one in presence, we are one in our reality, we are one as awareness. Taking on the form of thoughts, sensations, perceptions, memories, images. Like the white light takes on the form of infinite colors, reflected via various minds. You do not need to identify yourself with any particular color or shape or shade or sound. You don't. In this openness, the openness of being, everything is welcome, indiscriminately, unconditionally, effortlessly. Everything is embraced as everything you experience is an arising. It arises out of consciousness, out of awareness, out of that which is eternal. Although it is one totality, one indivisible wholeness, one play. On the stage, there are various roles, various characters playing different parts of the script. And it is this variety, this multiplicity of forms that dances together in composing and performing the play. but there is one choreographer, one costume designer, one stage engineer, like within your body. There are various organs with various functions. Functioning synchronistically and harmoniously with each other. Similarly, in your life, the various shapes, sounds, and colors and events, the various activities and situations are part of that choreography designed by the one choreographer. And you are the living of that. And simultaneously, you are the stillness, the infinity, the infinite potential. The limitless creativity. Which in this moment creates and celebrates this. And it's in its celebration. It doesn't need to remember itself. Because it is itself already. Simply do not assume yourself to be anything. A person, son and daughter born in such a village. Like the ocean takes on the form of infinite waves and currents, without ever becoming a wave or being identified as a wave or a current. So your life is a flow. A freedom, effortless dance. You are the dance, and yet you don't move. Like the current flows so effortlessly and hand in hand with the riverbank, whichever way it is. You are this effortless flow. Like the dance of the breeze with the movement of the leaf on the tree. Like the play of the sun rays shining on the surface of the pond, and the glitter, the reflection of the light. A gentle breeze may arise, and a ripple may appear on the surface of the pond, and the play of light and sun reflecting. They're all in such harmony. Wind and water and sunlight. Indistinguishable, indivisible. Similarly, the gentle breath, this dance between the body and the world. The moisture in the air, the moisture of the body. together, indistinguishable. Where, where is there a separate anything, a separate something within this harmonious interplay? What is this notion of something existing separate from the totality? What is that notion? Isn't it one whole harmonious dance of being, perceiving, sensing, flowing, not knowing? Within this flow, there is no room for me, my life, my past, my future. It's fiction. Or maybe it's just part of the dance. But we are available to the entire dance because we are that. We are the dance. We are as much a man, a woman, as we are the bird, the turtle, the wind, the rain, the sunshine, the grain of sand, the galaxies. Notice the peace, the stillness. Sense it, feel it, be it. When you go to the sensation of your bottom against the seat, Where is the seat? Where is your bottom? Is there a line somewhere within the sensation? Is there a side, this side and that side to the sensation? Explore the sensation without the concept of a seat or a couch, and without the concept of my bottom. See how the sensation doesn't have any form or any division. It doesn't have a shape or a weight or a size, does it? Take a look. The thought that I am sitting on a chair. Take a look at that thought. The thought appears to you. Take a look. It says, I am sitting on a chair. Somehow this thought is perceived and is translated into an image. Where is that image? Are you inside the image? What if you slow down that thought? The same thought, just slow motion. Does it have the same effect? The same impact? The feeling that I am some object, some form. Or is it just some sounds appearing to you? Shapes and forms. What is it? In this moment of presence, of being, this effortless, borderless awareness. You are that which does not come and go. Simply do not define yourself in any way whatsoever. Remain unknowing. Okay, so if you have any questions, anything you would like to explore.
Yes, hi, Magdi.
Yes, hello, George.
Hi there. Thank you for that great meditation. It seems that your meditations seem to be increasing in value over time. Then just maybe a change in me. I don't know. Anyway, I took some notes, and there's something I don't understand, and maybe I'm making a mistake in trying to understand, but let me ask anyway. You said there is only one choreographer. And then I assume that that one choreographer choreographs events, the weather, other events, including thoughts. So my thoughts are choreographed. And then from my thoughts come actions. My actions are also choreographed. And if that's the case, then it seems that I have no control. That is, this control that I think I have is just an illusion. And you said life is an effortless dance. I can get that. Go with the flow. There is no separate anything. Okay, fine. I can really get that. But then, what does it mean to say I am? Am I only the experiencer? That's all? Am I just consciousness, just awareness? Am I just the victim of this choreographer over which I have no control? Or to what, I hate to ask this, but to what extent am I the choreographer?
Yes.
Help.
So first, it's really important to be clear that in our conversation right now, that we're using the term I in the same meaning. So by I do not refer to a body mind, I do not refer to a male or female form, I do not refer to a story, I do not refer to memories, I'm not referring to any object. By I'm referring to awareness, the reality of all experiences, the one reality. I is another word for awareness, another word for reality, another word for consciousness, another word for presence. So just to be on the same page in our conversation about what we mean by I. So in the dream metaphor, the I would be the dreamer. I am the dreamer. And the choreography, the stage, the many stages, or the one stage in which there are many different, events, many different characters and colors and shapes and designs and forests and cities, etc. The content of my dream is my choreography. And within my choreography, staying with that metaphor, there are various actors with their own script and their own version of the setup, their dress code, etc. And within my choreography, there are also the various stages, events, and weather, and shapes and sounds and colors. The entire script, which is being performed, and the actions that are being taken, are my choreography, meaning the choreography of I, in the case of the dream metaphor, meaning the dreamer. Now, what perceives, what decides, what takes the action? Well, in the when you look at the choreography, there are many characters that are acting. They perceive a certain thought that says, orange or apple, and then the next thought arises, orange, and then they're going to have orange, eat an orange. So from that perspective, seemingly, that particular character has chosen an orange over the apple. But from a different perspective, the thoughts that appeared to that character, that were dreamt by the dreamer, by I consciousness, I the dreamer, through this particular mind. If you take it to that level, then you get to a different perspective. At the local level, character A or character B has chosen an orange over an apple. At that level, at the local level. But when you go to the level of the entire metaphor of the dream, then you start to wonder, you start to question whether in fact there is a personal chooser or a personal willer, given that all the thoughts and all the scenarios and all the scenes are dreamt or created by the one dreamer. Now, in terms of perception, similarly, you could, at the local level, say, well, character A perceived an orange and perceived an apple, and one orange was color orange, the apple was red or yellow, and decided to go for the orange. So at the local level, one could say that the perception is a local perception. But once you take it to the level of the metaphor, the dreamer, that in fact the dreamer is dreaming the entire dream, and therefore is the one that perceives the dream, is the ultimate perceiver of all the thoughts and all the perception and all the script and all the scenarios. When you take it to that level, you come to a different conclusion. You will realize that, oh, wait a minute, seemingly there is a personal choice, but in fact, the personal choice is borrowed, let's say, or lent. It's a choice that the dreamer is lending to the local, at the local level. Now, it's important that when you look at the metaphor of the dream metaphor, in terms of time and space, the dreamer, the I consciousness, is not in time and space, but the dream, the choreography is in time and space. Like you go to the theater and you watch a play, of a family that's been for 40 years living in a certain village. The play takes maybe 2 hours, but the actual play, as you're sitting in the stage, takes 2 hours. But on the stage, the play on the stage takes it represents 40 years. But in fact, is just a representation. So from the perspective of consciousness, there is no time and space. But from the local perspective, then there is time. It's 10 years, 50 years, 20 years. There is space. This is happening in this village, and that is happening in that village. Which brings you, when you go from the local perception to the global perception, you will come to understand that, in fact, it is all one. It's all one. I mean, you really come to the end of words in a way, but it's no longer the Cartesian model of the X and Y axis. It's actually, it's the collapse of all possible dimensions into dimensionlessness, into the dimensionless. So I have a feeling that in your question, you're straddling both the local impression and the script and the perceptions and the choice at the local level, and you sort of mixing in your question both levels, or you're introducing your question both levels, but they're not at the same plane. Then you can't speak about consciousness and manifestation on the same plane, although they're not apart. The dream doesn't exist outside of the dreamer, but the dreamer is the eternity, and the dream is the dance of the dreamer, is the manifestation of the dreamer, let's say the movement of the dreamer within itself, to itself. It's dreaming out of itself, creating its infinite creations, experiencing its dreams. And in terms of non-duality, it is also dreaming the impression that there is a local reality independent of the dreamer, that there is a village independent of the dreamer, that exists independent of the dreamer. And it is also playing the choreography of, no, in fact, there isn't. You see, so in our conversation here, in quote unquote satsang, or our meetings, consciousness is now saying, yeah, interesting, I am the reality of all of that. I am that which is absolute. I am the ultimate chooser, creator, perceiver. Because if there is creation, then it must be created out of the source, out of the creator. So the creator must know its creation, it created. It creates what it wills. It knows it as it creates it. It can even know it before it creates it. It can know it and create it later, whatever. But the knowingness of the creation belongs to the creator. And the form that the creation takes is up to the creator. And the creation of the creator doesn't define the creator. You will need to take all the creations of the creator, put them all together to get the puzzle. It's like a puzzle with 55 zillion pieces, okay? They're made by factory. There's a factory that makes a 55 zillion piece puzzle. And you're putting the puzzle together to get the image of the puzzle. But that factory that has manufactured this 55 zillion piece puzzle is cranking 55 other zillion pieces every second that belong to that same puzzle that you're trying to solve. So rather than trying to know the creator via its creation, which is infinite potential, you can know the creator by going straight to the source. So as a metaphor, coming back to the metaphor of the dream, again, the metaphor, it's a metaphor. I know that it's going to be a little tricky, but what I'm going to say now, but I'm going to say it anyways. Going to the metaphor of the dream and the dream characters. So as a dream character, the way you can know your reality is by rather than exploring the creation, the infinite creation of the dreamer, you go straight to the dreamer. That's what they refer to as awakening. I don't speak in that language too much, but this is why I'm hesitating to speak this way, because it gives the impression that there is an actual separate self that's going to awaken to consciousness. And
I understand. Yes.
I'm only saying that in a metaphoric sense. In fact, what is truer, and that is something that I back it up when I say it, is that in fact the separation or the sense of being a body, being George, being a man, being Magdi, being somebody with a story, is just an impression. It's made out of thought. It's in fact, when you come to your experience, which is always this moment, there is no George. There is, one could say, if we must speak, there is presence, awareness, consciousness taking on this form. And hopefully, I know that I know whatever, I know myself, meaning I am not in this moment under the illusion or under the impression that I'm existing in time and space. So when I look at my experience fully, and it can only be this, I've got to borrow something from somewhere, which is not possible because it's complete right now, right here, right now, in order to create a story. Of course, I could tell you a story about Magdi, his life, blah, 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 blah. And it's a nice story, and there's no problem with the story, but I know it's a story. I know it's a story, hopefully. But if I don't know it's a story, then I am feeling and experiencing that I am somebody, hopefully somebody good and proud of myself, And even when I'm somebody good, proud of myself, the sense of limitation is there. The unhappiness is there. Because as somebody, there is the limitation. It's not everybody and everything. There is a limitation. And therefore there is, whether it's in the cellar or in the first floor, there is a sense of lack, and the concern and the worry about ending, about the future, etc.
Yes, I want to say I get what you say, and I get what you say, and I guess you know about this. I get what you say, and what's missing is the really getting what you say. In other words, what you say makes, in one sense to me. I can see the confusion of the two levels. I can see the level where I think I'm George, and I think I'm a body mind, and the body mind is, whatever. And I can understand that I am awareness, and I can understand. I don't know if I can understand it, but I can't really. I'm speechless, Mike.
So what if you're not taking any step away into the past or the future?
Right. I can do that if I just stop. Just stop. Just be in the moment.
Well, the thing is, isn't the reality of your experience right now independent of, you're not existing in two different places right now, or two different time zones right now. I mean,
No, you're right.
That would be a nice that would be a nice sci-fi version, not a problem. I like sci-fi, but I'm talking about non-sci-fi. So in order to not get it, I get it, but I don't get it. In order to not get it, you are introducing time. You're introducing something which, I don't know what you're introducing, but you're introducing something which is not there to your experience this moment. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I do see what you're saying.
Because as long as you're introducing something else, whichever way you do it, then there is going to be, yes, this, and there is going to be this, meaning I get it, but there's also going to be whatever it is that you introduced. I don't know. You're introducing something. I don't know, whatever it is. I don't know.
Right.
It's something.
Memories, doubts. Yes, I'm introducing thoughts. Yeah, yes, I'm introducing. I can see that. Yes.
So, but your experience in this moment it doesn't require you to introduce anything. It's
right.
Maybe it's a habit. I don't know.
Yes, very much so a habit. Yes, very much a habit. Okay.
And if the habit of introducing something is still going on, then you were always going to say, you can't come back in 20 years, you're going to say, I get it, and I don't get it.
I can see that.
Huh?
I can see that exactly.
Yes.
And it's almost as if that introducing something is almost like I'm not sure this is true, or whether this is just hearsay, whether this is just the mind wanting to survive, or the ego wanting to survive, or the fear of giving up. I don't really experience any fear. I don't know.
Explanation, there can be many explanations. It doesn't really matter that much.
Okay.
What matters is to see that you're somehow introducing something from somewhere, whatever you're introducing, that's not necessary. I mean, there isn't. It's in your experience now. It's full. It's not lacking. But the notion that there is something that I need to introduce, or the habit of introducing something, is going to create the impression of time and space, me in time and space. That something is missing, something is lacking. Maybe it's a feeling, some memory, or something that uses, we bring in, well, does it feel that way, or does it look that? And so, but presence, this, whatever this is like that. It's like that, and it's complete like that. It's whole like that, and it's not augmenting me or diminishing me in any way. The I, awareness, presence, whatever, the reality of this experience is what it is. It's not alterable. Alterable? It's not, you cannot be altered.
Yes.
It's not improvable. I mean, that would be a disaster if you can improve reality. Holy cow.
Of course, yes.
You know?
Right.
That's so something within your experience is saying, yes, but does it look like this? Does it feel like that? Does it match like this? Does it dance like, or whatever? I don't know. I'm just
Yeah, no, yeah, I understand. There's the yes, and there's the mind adding the but to it.
Yes.
Yes, I can see that.
Yes. And as long as that process is going on, but what when you say but, I don't know where you're going. You're going somewhere besides this.
Yes, yeah, I got it. Okay, now really, I got it, Leroy. I mean, thank you. I think the thing for me to do is to explore that but.
Yes.
You know, explore what is the nature of that but.
And what is the necessity of it? I mean, you know, because if you buy into the necessity of but, make sure that you're buying the goods, you know, the real goods. You know what I mean?
Right, buying the real goods and it's worth the price. Yes,
it's worth the price. Right.
This is great, Magdi. I really appreciate it. I'm going to review this several times.
Okay, George.
Thank you very much. This is great. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Any questions? Hello, Holger.
Hello, Magdi. It seems like the Yabat, which I'm very familiar with, is like a disruptor which is needed to keep the hypnosis alive of a separate self.
Yes, you could say that. I mean, it does that. I mean, because consciousness doesn't object. You know, it's not saying, okay, yes, but when will I get it? I mean, obviously it's not consciousness who's doing that. So it's just part of the choreography, but it's an unhappy aspect of the choreography. And it's important for us to comprehend that, to understand that it's not really necessary. Because there is a sweet aspect to the choreography that is available to us, like right now, just being together and talking together and looking into each other's faces, and there's a sweet aspect to the manifestation, to existence, but without the sense of separation. You see, so. Yes. Maybe it's just a habit, you know, a habit of defense, maybe something we need to defend or protect, hide something, or hide ourselves in a way, you know, from ourselves, because we're hiding always. Whatever we're doing it with ourselves. Yeah? It's like me and myself. Yeah? This is why, you know, when we are feeling unhappy, it's within us. We feel the unhappiness within us. It's not like we're not feeling it outside. You know, we're feeling it within us, because it is within us that there is the opposition. You know, but when I say within us, I mean within consciousness. And consciousness is the open space. You know, it's like the field. It's like the wide open sky. So in the wide open sky, a bird is flying. And in that same wide open sky, a hawk may catch the bird, But the wide open sky remains, it's open. It's not going, oh my God, look what happened to me. Or not. No, it's both the bird and the hawk simultaneously, and it's none of them. It is everything and nothing. And that's when I say the wide open sky as a metaphor, I'm referring to awareness, the reality of I, the reality of consciousness, which we are. We are consciousness. We are conscious, and we know we are conscious. We are aware that we're aware. We are this awareness that is aware, that is hearing these words, and it knows that it's hearing these words, and it knows that it is, and it knows that it is aware. It's effortless. It's sort of,
So
yeah.
so amazing how important it always was for me, how I feel and what I was thinking. I mean, this was my guideline in life. I mean,
Yeah.
seemingly, I mean, just in my dream world there, and how beautiful it is that I'm aware of thoughts and feelings,
Yes.
and I don't need to be concerned about them.
Yes. You are not subject. You're not subject
Yes.
to
Yes.
thoughts or feeling. You are the wide open space. It's like the wide open sky isn't subject to the hawk catching or not catching the bird, or to the bird being caught or not being caught. So when you are the bird, then you are not the wide open sky. You're the bird running away from the hawk. When you're the hawk, you're not the wide open sky. You're the hawk trying to catch the bird.
An interesting point, this sweetness, I think I mistook it for fear. Something like this. I mean, there was a profound misunderstanding inside of myself. And so, in a way, I cannot explain it, but it.
No, I think I get it. I get it because I recognize also the habit of protecting ourselves, of not exposing ourselves, always sort of presenting an image. I like you to like my image, and then see how I like your image, and I'm worrying about your image of me and my image of myself. It's like a mess, but I understand what you're saying, because the fear of opening up, and opening up, being the openness is sweet. It's innocent. It's a fresh. It's delicate. It's beautiful, and so there is a fear of from our own habits of exposing. Exposing what? Exposing the beauty, exposing the sweetness. And everybody loves that. Everybody loves the sweetness, the beauty, the honesty, the gentleness. Nobody likes to do the defense and worrying about what you think of me, but we do that. We do that, until we don't, I guess, out of, the impression that it's really important, to market an image and to safeguard and manage my image, and to myself and to others.
Thank you, Magdi. There's so much grace in my life.
Beautiful. I'm glad. So, any questions? Oh, hello, Grace.
Hello, Magdi.
Yes.
I recall you saying the story is okay to talk if you know it's a story.
Yes.
And I sense that I have resistance to telling a story as though I'm not honoring the other person by telling my truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And did I buy into a concept of integrity, or why is it that it's not easy for me to tell the story of
Mm-hmm.
when somebody asks about me and wants to know more about me?
Yes.
And I want to be open, of course I do. And then I don't also want to feel like I'm not being truthful when I give them
Yes.
who I am, where I work, what I do for, all of those things.
Yes. Right. Yes. Yes. You see, Grace, there is obviously for each one of us there is a story about the body mind. There's a story about Grace, the daughter, the sister, the friend, the teenager. There is a story about the body mind. The parents, the school, the village, whatever. But the story about the body mind is not a story about me, about what I truly am, because what I truly am, there is no story to consciousness. There is no, because it's not a form. Consciousness is the reality that perceives the transparency of being. So so there is no story when it comes to consciousness. But in terms of the body mind, yes, there are stories. Now the difficulty and the ignorance or unhappiness aspect is that we confuse the story about the body mind to be what about me, about consciousness. You say, well, I am, Grace, I am Magdi, and I. So when because for so long we have been identifying I consciousness with the character, with the girl, the son, the daughter, etc. We've been living in that belief and that feeling that I am this person existing in the world with such a born on such a date in such a place, and this is my father, my mother, my school, and blah 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 blah. That when we start to contemplate truth or reality, then we realize, wait a minute, what about that which in my experience has never changed? There is something in my experience that's never changed. And when I take a look at that, I realize, oh, awareness, I'm the one, that same I perceived my school when I was 15 years old. And it's the same I that's perceiving the place that I work now, the house where I live now, is the same I. There is something which is not changing, unchanged, that is not, that's constant in my experience, which is awareness, consciousness. Then I realize, oh, the body and the mind keeps changing. The 5-year-old girl, the 7-year-old, the 8-year-old, the experiences that I had when I was in 7th grade and 12th grade, thousands and thousands of experiences. What the body looked like of Magdi, the 2-year-old boy, and Magdi, the 8-year-old boy, and then 15 and the 13. I said, which one is them? Which one of them is me? You can't pin it down. So you realize, so there is this constant coloring, dance, change, flow, and there is that which doesn't change. And that which doesn't change is neither green, neither tall, nor blue, nor red, nor to the right or to the left. And that is consciousness. So when we are contemplating truth, we start to make a distinction. It sort of comes on its own in a way. We start to make a distinction between the story about the body mind about grace. Grace is the name of the body. It's not your name. You have no name. You, consciousness, have no name. Consciousness has no name. But yes, I understand that your mom and dad, they named this body Grace, and you as consciousness agreed. You say, okay, I mean, you can change your name. You as consciousness can decide, no, I want to change my name to whatever, But it's okay. So, but you recognize that. So we start to make a distinction between the story of the body, the story of the world, the story of the mind, and the no story of consciousness. See? So, because in the world we are dynamic human tribe, We say, hello, how are you? We don't say, oh, as consciousness, I am nothing and everything. We say, I'm good, how are you? Right? We say, how are you? Okay, what did you do yesterday? Oh, yesterday, I was at home, I made some salad, I went for a walk, But we're talking about the body. We're talking about the body. But we're not going to say, okay, I did nothing because consciousness does nothing and I took the body for a walk. No, we don't say that. But the understanding is what matters, you see. It's really important to be clear. And for a while, as we are on the path, it's easy for us to sort of come to the understanding that I am consciousness, I'm awareness, nothing is happening, there's no danger, no birth or death for awareness. We may have this understanding, but it's easy for us to sort of go back to the old model. Oh, I am grace, I am the body, what's going to happen to me tomorrow, or do people like me, etc. So, and we go back and forth. So it's there may be a period, maybe whatever that it varies from person to person, where you are more measured, more attentive, more cautious internally in how you interact with others and with the world, just so that the tendency to refer to myself as the story of the body mind, that this tendency has a momentum. So you need to exercise some degree of caution so that that momentum doesn't keep pulling you back into I am grace, I am the body, I am this daughter, I am this woman, I am this person, Sometimes it is said that at some point, and for a certain duration, you may find yourself hanging with a different crowd than you used to. There may have been a certain pattern of gossiping and of referring to ourselves as our stories and so on. You may find that that's no longer happy. No, it's not really making you happy. You don't really feel like engaging in such. There may even be good old friends. I mean, the love is always there, but you may find that maybe a different, a lesser exposure or a different crowd may be more suitable, for you. Because as long as we're referring to ourselves as the separate body-mind, the mortal body-mind, there is deep misery and unhappiness, which sooner or later will manifest.
Thank you, Magdi.
Okay, Grace, yes. There will come a point where it won't matter anymore to you. But like when you're starting a campfire, you start the campfire with some twigs. You have to be careful that the fire catches well with the twigs, and you put some bigger branches, and then at some point you have a fire that's burning quite well off its own. You don't need so much to safeguard it. Or like when you are planting a new plant, you have to sort of keep an eye on it for a little while, until it roots well and becomes on its solid of its own. Then, so there is a time of caution and attention and a proper action. Okay, lovely talking with you, Grace. Yes. Okay. Any questions? Okay, well, very lovely to be with you, John, Holger, Grace, George, Mina.
Thank you, Magdi.
Rahul.
Thank you.
Richard.
Thank you.
Isaac. Zoe. Hello, Zoe. And Frank.
Thank you, Magdi.
Yeah. Hola, Gloriana.
Thank you. Magdi ki jai.
Ibrahim, Shiva, Sali Shiva, and Holly. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you, Magdi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.